Welcome to the Impact Maker's Journey from Passion to Profits, the podcast showcasing heart-centered coaches, experts, and energy healers who are on a mission to change lives and create meaningful success doing what they love. I'm your host, Wendy Vaughn, business success coach and founder of Impact Maker Coaching. And I've got to be honest, the path from passion to profits is rarely easy, but it's always filled with growth, clarity, and surprising rewards. Now, each week I sit down with inspiring impact makers who have turned their knowledge and wisdom into thriving businesses that are making a meaningful difference for others. And we'll explore their personal and professional journeys, how they found their calling, and how they continue to stay aligned with their passion along the way. So if you're here to expand your vision about what's possible for yourself, you're in the right place. So join me as we discover the positive ripple effects created by today's guest. All right, I have as my guest today, Veronica Herfindahl. Now, Veronica is a certified dream builder and transformational life coach who works with professional women who know exactly what they would love to achieve in their lives, but are tired of struggling to make it happen. Or those professional women who have no idea of what they truly want, but are looking for fulfillment and happiness in their lives. So welcome, Veronica. I am super excited to have you as my guest today.
Thank you. I'm so happy. It's my pleasure to be here today.
Yeah, and I am really looking forward to just learning more about your own journey as an entrepreneur, as well as this important work that you're doing. Because what I've found is that every entrepreneur's journey is unique. I mean, we're all individuals, right? And life has given us a series of doorways and barriers, and we kind of navigate through it all. So, and typically, it includes lots of opportunities, as I call it, for personal growth, right? Being an entrepreneur, do you agree?
Absolutely, definitely.
Yeah. So let me ask you: are you the same person now as you were when you first started out as a coach?
Not at all. Not at all. Even though in my short tenure, I've grown so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel that I need a telescope just to look back and see where I
Right.
was back then. Yes. Yeah, no,
And
definitely not.
for me anyway, what I've discovered is the journey is never end, right? It just keeps on. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So the evolution continues. But business development and personal development, they pretty much go hand in hand. And
Absolutely.
the journey from passion, that desire around making that difference for others, because we know that what we do is, quite meaningful. The journey from that to profits is not easy. But the thing that seems to all be the same for each of us is that vision of making a meaningful difference for others. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about your journey. So curiously, how long have you been a certified transformational and dream building coach?
Well, it's actually been less than a year, to tell you the truth. I started with my first own transformation, and as I learn it and apply it to myself in my personal and professional life,
Mm,
I noticed like, wow, this is fantastic. It's like a superpower. So I then decided to enroll and learn more. It's been very, very intense training, but it's going to be a year since I started this journey.
nice, nice. Yeah. So what prompted you to begin? I know that you said that, well, when I learned these things, then, it's kind of escalated my desire to help others. But was there a tipping point or some moment or, an inciting incident? What was it that prompted you to turn this passion into more of a profession?
I think it was a combination of things. I've always had very, very clear that my call in this world was to serve and support and empower women in many different ways. But there was a time, a couple of years ago, time in my life where my professional career wasn't working the way I wanted. I had health issues, issues with my relationship with my marriage of almost 17 years. In general, things were not working out for me. And I decided to make a change. I decided that enough was enough, that I needed to take control of my life in order to be able to be happy and be the loving, caring mom. And
Instead of
also,
all the other things, the circumstances, like it's easy for people to
exactly,
point outside, right? But you looked within.
exactly, and decided that I needed to change. So I sought out for help, and I was very fortunate to meet my mentor, Mary Morrissey, and and that's when I started working first on myself, because I knew that in order to be great at my career, my job, great mom, great daughter, and so on, and the many other roles that we play as the women, I needed first to take care of myself, something that, to be honest with you, I had neglected for years.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's
that's when I decided it was time. It was time
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
to make that
interesting.
change.
Well, you saw the handwriting on the wall in terms of things that were being sacrificed. So when you started out, did you have a clear strategy in place to build your business, or did you do like most and just, a few clients started being referred to you, or just did you have a clear plan?
I did. I did because I started working on my vision. What is it what I wanted, right? So I was very clear in what was that vision of a business. Now, not to say that I knew it all. Obviously, if I had known it, I would had already built that business before.
Right. Part of that
Yeah,
evolution.
exactly, exactly. But one thing I had very clear, and what I've learned in this journey, is that that is the key element. I had very clear a vision of what is it that I wanted for my business to be. And
Mhm.
once you have that end destination in mind, things start changing. Actually,
Okay.
there is a quote that I love from a philosopher, Seneca, that said, "There is no favorite wind to the sailor that has not destination." And I was fortunate enough to start with a very clear vision of what is it that I wanted for my business and my life around my business to be.
Yeah, and that is so powerful. It's really easier said than done until you just say, okay, I've got to put more energy and clarity into that real solid building block. So, well,
Mm.
curiously, Veronica, if you could turn back time, if we had the magic wand, what is one thing that you wish you had known earlier in your journey?
There are a couple of things. One, which empowered me a lot once I knew it, is that the power to to transform things, the power that lives within me is way more powerful. The potential within me is way more powerful than any circumstance, situation, or condition that
Mm,
surrounds me. That was key. One.
mm,
And two, the power of my thoughts. I never knew. I never knew. I had heard about manifestation, but to be honest with you, I wasn't consciously aware of the power that we have as human beings in with our thoughts and what we can create, good or bad, with our thoughts. That
mm,
was for me
mm-hmm.
mind
Yeah.
blowing.
Yeah. And just that as you were speaking, I just started having this clarity around it. And that's the ultimate inequality, right? Everybody's equal in that ability to be a powerful creator.
Mm-hmm.
There is no inequality. We
No,
each have that within us. So, yeah, I love that. And I know that your specialty is empowering those professional women to create the lives that they love, the fulfillment, the happiness. So, curiously, what is a common misbelief or myth that women are buying into that is keeping them stuck in their careers, their lives, their relationships, thinking that, nah, yeah, this is just the way it is.
one of the things that, well, two elements, but one thing is that we have to have it all planned out, that you have to know from A to Z what are each of the steps that you need to take to achieve your dreams and goals. I think that's a very common
Yeah, misbelief.
yeah, a very
You have to have
common
it all
way of
figured out.
thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So if I need to have everything in place in order before I even make a decision to go ahead with my business, right? So it's that's one of the common elements. People, we are trained to, and we were educated to know the how before you even decide. You have to know how to get there before you decide to go there. So that's something that is very common.
Mm,
Another thing is that we could we look outside ourselves as our reasons why we don't do what we truly want to achieve or go for our dreams.
mm.
That we continue, and I see it over and over, and that's the way, and not judgment here, but that's the way when we were brought up. When we plan to do something big, when we have a dream, an idea, the first thing that comes to our mind is, well, what if I fail?
Yep.
Do I have everything? What do I need? We go into that lack mentality, or like we gotta get, we anticipate, we want to get prepared to what if it doesn't work? What am I gonna do? And then sometimes we dwell so much into that we don't even give ourselves permission to dream and first visualize and understand
Yeah,
what is it that
fear
I
is
create.
huge. Fear is huge, especially for the women that you support in terms of they're professionals. They have a lot at stake. They have their careers. They have their business. They have, a lot of responsibilities and probably a family to ensure their wellness and everything. So rocking the boat is risky.
Right?
So what's going on for these women that has them finally just draw a line in the sand? Say, you know what? Enough is enough. I need to talk to Veronica. This is ridiculous. So what's going on for them that finally is that like wake up call?
Mm-hmm. I think what I see in many cases is that when people start having that longing, two things, two elements, either the longing or
Mm-hmm.
the discontent.
Or
So
the
either
what?
is that feeling of longing
Yeah.
for something they haven't yet created, or the feeling of discontentment
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
current circumstances they live
Just
in.
getting sick and
That is
tired
spark
of
growth.
being, yeah, feeling unsatisfied. No matter how much they achieve, it's still empty. Yeah, yeah,
And
makes sense.
one of the one of the common elements that show up, and it happened to me. I was the women not long ago. Is we start looking for happiness in a different way. Maybe it's food. Maybe don't we just try to calm down or quiet the discomfort or the
Right,
the
right.
the longing, the
Just
discontent.
turn
We
down the
try
volume.
to, yes. Yes, exactly. And then what happens is we start being a little bit unhealthy and trying to find that happiness and fulfillment with food and with some other things that at
Mhm.
the end of the day, they're just making things quiet temporarily, not
Yeah,
even.
yeah. There's
Our
this.
longing, our discontent will continue speaking to us until we listen.
So after working with you, Veronica, what what's possible? Maybe showcase this through maybe sharing a story about a client that you've recently worked with, and kind of give us a better understanding of the real life kind of transformation that your work provides.
Yes. There is one in particular, but there are many, but one that comes to mind right now that she is a mom, a working mom. She went back to school to working to set up her business with her husband in a very technical field, technological field. And
Okay.
as she was doing what she thought she had to do, what was best to for her family, she wasn't happy. She really, truly wasn't fulfilled and felt quite overwhelmed with all the different requirements that and different hats that she had to wear as a mom, as a student, and also as a new business owner. And when we started working together, one of the first things that very quick she realized is that she had forgotten about dreaming. Dreaming like
Mm.
she did when she was a kid. And there were many things that came to surface in terms of what she truly wanted in her life. To make the story short, she decided to change things around. She rediscovered her love for animals and farming
Hmm.
and decided to leave her other entrepreneurship aside and started to create her farm, her ideal farm, got on board with what truly she has been wanted for decades and had just for even forgotten about. Now to summarize the result, she's not only changing careers and opening her farm, she's also changing continents to to create truly the farm of her dreams.
Wow. Wow.
So, and it's just so gratifying to see the transformation in herself and the person when she started working with me and the person that she is right now
Hmm.
is marvelous.
Because when you feel aligned with the thing that brings you that true sense of passion, and you're not just going through the tasks and motions because I got to check this box, I got to do these things. It's things progress quite quickly.
Yes.
We think one of the fears that I know a lot of people have is that, oh my gosh, if I start over, quote unquote, it's going to take me another 10 years to regain whatever this income or da 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 da. But what I'm hearing you say is with the right alignment and connection with the values and the things that really do bring that sense of happiness and fulfillment, the progression plan is actually, can be quite quite short.
Quite easy,
You
good,
can't,
honestly.
you can't promise anything, but I'm just saying once you have that alignment and there's no resistance,
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. You just
yeah,
be clear on what it is. You increase
hmm,
your awareness of what is it that you want, and then
yeah,
you start seeing opportunities,
right,
circumstances, resources that you weren't aware of when
hmm,
you
yeah,
were so focused on what you didn't have, what you were lacking, what you were uncomfortable with, what you
yep,
didn't. So it's a very significant shift, and I've been fortunate to see it in many different
hmm,
dreams and goals that my
yeah.
clients have
Oh yeah,
had.
yeah, and you're obviously very passionate about doing this work. It just exudes. I see you just light up when you're talking about the transformations and really what's possible. Because, for me as a business coach, and I've been working with entrepreneurs and coaches and healers now for about 7 years, and the thing that always saddens me is to just see that passion dwindle
Mm.
because of the complications of growing a business. It's there are a lot of layers there in terms of the marketing and offers and getting visibility, becoming known. All these things are layers that make building a business potentially overpower that original passion, which is
Mm.
why, of course, I love being a business success coach, because I get to, you know, kind of like support as well as you do, reviving that original passion. So I'm just curious, what is your secret to refueling your passion for serving these ambitious, women that want to really create a life that they love? What's your secret to just always being like, oh goody, I get to go to work today?
Well, I would say that first of all, I'm fortunate that I listen to that small voice, and not the one that wanted me to play small, but the one that wanted me to grow.
Mm,
I listen to that, and I'm very much connected with the universe and infinite intelligence that we all are have access to, but fortunate enough to be connected to that. So be guided with with my heart, with my higher power inside me. Um, but honestly, to me, is it's just a staying in the energy and vibration of what I want and what I love,
hmm.
and allowing very little or reshifting when needed, because it does happen. It
Oh,
happens to all.
of course.
And we
Yeah, we're
get caught
human.
up into the circumstances, situation, or conditions around us. So I've continued this in every single day, connecting to myself, connected to my higher
You
source,
walk your
and
talk.
staying focus on what I want. It's what we
Yes.
call brave thinking rather than common hour thinking of situations, circumstances, and
Mhm.
conditions. We don't deny them, they are there, but it's how we perceive them, the
Yes.
meaning that we give them
Right. The meaning
to
that we give
to
them.
those that makes a difference, right? So
Mhm.
I stay on what makes me happy, what gives
Mhm.
me life, and yeah, and it's just the ripple effect is just
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Well,
unspeakable.
I believe that helping people to achieve those new levels of happiness, joy, financial success
Yeah,
creates a huge ripple effect. It just
absolutely.
is infinite because all ships rise. I mean, their family suddenly has a happier mom, right? And so then the kids are more confident and they go to school feeling safe, right? Instead of
Absolutely.
uncertain. Mom's just, gosh, I don't know what's going on. She's so stressed, and that. So in other words, that ripple effect just goes on and on and on. And one of my mentors early in my career as an entrepreneur was Mark Victor Hansen,
Okay.
co-author for Chicken Soup for the Soul series.
Yeah, yeah, with
And now
Jessica.
he wasn't a direct mentor. I'll be clear. I was in a mastermind that he and Bob Proctor
Oh,
had created, another powerhouse, right? It
oh,
was
fabulous. Yes.
3% Club. But I tell you, Mark Victor Hansen was such a visionary and so much embodied that the bigger, the vision and ultimately what I want to achieve is the truth versus playing small, right? So just so synchronistic with what you're saying. And
Absolutely.
one of the things that he shared with me, and of course with thousands and thousands of others, is he said, Wendy, you you need to have a big, hairy, audacious goal, just something that fuels your passion and helps you just overcome all this little stuff, right? And so for me, my BHAG, as he calls it, has
Mhm.
kind of evolved throughout my entrepreneurial career. But currently, it's to raise consciousness within humanity. And the way I see it's possible is because, supporting people like you who are doing this type of work with others is what is creating that awakening, raising consciousness to what truly is possible. So
Absolutely.
that's why I honor the work that you do so much, because I believe that, you know, it's directly raising consciousness within humanity. And as more and more people wake up, more professional women wake up, it truly is, an infinite
Absolutely.
ripple effect. So I'll put you on the spot, Veronica. Do you have a big, audacious goal or vision that you have for yourself, for your business?
I do. I do. Like you, I believe one of the reasons why I help women, and in particular, I have some spot for moms, is because I believe that happy moms equal happy families, and happy families raise happy kids, and happy kids equal a better world. For my business, I would love to empower thousands of women
Mm,
to find, first of all, joy and happiness. So
Mhm.
they have the power and they rediscover or discover the power within them to
Yes.
do what their heart desires. And I do firmly believe that in the path I am, the more women I can empower, the better the world will be with
I,
that.
be- yes, I believe that. Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind at all. So, yes, I so agree with you in terms of that ripple effect. And being a mom of three boys, they're grown and have their own lives now. But I think that because I instilled within them, happiness, right? Because for the most part, like you said, we're human. There are moments, but leading with the possibility, kind of possibilist versus pragmatic or thinking small, has what you know really is instilling them to want to grow and achieve. And so I see that ripple effect, and that's just firsthand. So I know that without a shadow of a doubt you'll have that big of an impact. So Veronica, well, what is the best next step for professional women who are just, they're like, all right, so I'm curious here. What would be the best next step for them in terms of better understanding you and the work that you do?
Well, I would invite them to first of all give themselves the opportunity of an hour and join me for a vision workshop where I will take them through and help them get clarity on what is it that they truly want in their life.
Mm,
Also, tools to help them take the steps and start achieving those dreams, those goals, and also to feel even more empowered in their ability to achieve those dreams and goals. So inviting them to give themselves an hour. It's free. It's the visual workshop. I host one in person and two online every month.
okay.
Uh, and they can join me, and that would be my pleasure to share
Fantastic.
with them
Well,
what I do.
viewers, listeners, look in the show notes because you'll find the link to that vision workshop, as well as a link to Veronica's website where you can discover more about the great work that she's doing. So, well, Veronica, thank you again. This has just been so amazing. I appreciate you sharing your journey and truly expanding our view of what is possible in terms of creating a life that's filled with happiness, joy, and fulfillment. It truly is possible with the right support and the right strategy. So
Sounds
thank you
good.
so much, Veronica. I appreciate the work you
Thank
do.
My pleasure to be here today. Thank you.
All right. Well, the real life transformations facilitated by experts like my guest today are truly priceless. I mean, happiness, joy, peace, love, right? These are all what each of us ultimately strives for in life. But becoming a sought after and well paid coach or energy healer is often challenging, overwhelming, and frustrating. So, if you're a heart centered coach, expert, or energy healer who's striving for more ease, flow, and abundance, well, I've created a special gift just for you. So, check out the show notes. All right, well, this is Wendy Vaughn signing off. Thank you so much for tuning in, and be sure to join me for my next episode where we'll be inspired by yet another impact maker's journey.